situation they're bringing out, or they're trying to bring about, is something like Harrison Bergeron, which we've talked about a number of times on here, the book by Kurt Vonnegut. They are aiming, it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. You were describing it. They have no expectations for these people. I believe this weekend, Michelle, I sent you an article on a 2018 study conducted by, I want to say it was Yale, where they actually found that advocates of minorities, this is how they went into the study. We're going to look at how advocates of minorities, how they interact with minorities versus, say, non-advocates, Republicans. And they found that advocates of minorities tend to dumb down their language and speak to minority groups of people as though they aren't intelligent enough to understand these folks.
Correct. If
they just speak normally how they usually would to a generic white audience. There was actual evidence, consistent evidence over a long span of time that actually disturbed the people who did the study. They said this is really unnerving to find this because, maybe we're patronizing these people, but they still kept referring throughout the articles. There was more than one article on it, but throughout the study and the articles talking about the study, they keep referring to these people as advocates and people who are advocating for minorities. And they're so willfully blind to this. I mean, that is the definition of not thinking highly of somebody. If you don't think somebody can compete on a fair level, if you think, well, this person, we're going to have a foot race. This guy's obviously not going to win, so I have to have this guy start way back. That doesn't mean you think that guy is a good foot racer, the one that you think needs all this extra help. And again, you brought up the sports analogy. Nobody applies this crap to sports because nobody wants to watch that crap.
No.
When you want to numb your mind out and be entertained with some sports, nobody goes with this. But on absolutely critical things like education, math, the hard sciences, this stuff is infecting our culture. It's an infection.
It's a great word, and I agree with you, John Berg. It is, and it's just it distresses me to no end because the future of the country depends on people being able to read, write, and do math. And those things are being supplanted in schools by this focus on white privilege and diversity, equity, inclusion. And again, setting a bar that everyone can clear means you must lower the bar.
Lower the bar. It's the opposite of the rising tide. This is this.
What happened to merit? What happened to merit?
In a competitive society, even the people who lose, who end up on the bottom rung, are a hell of a lot higher up than they otherwise would be in a society that isn't based on competition and merit. That's why poor people in this nation, we've had a terrible time dealing with things like obesity and diabetes. That is not how poor people, that's not what their existence was like for essentially all of history.
I come from two parents who were dirt poor. And I'm telling you that growing up in a family of 6 with 4 siblings that I competed my tush off with made me a better person. And my parents raised the bar constantly. My little Irish German mom and my Hispanic father, who came from nothing and raised 4 kids that they set a bar very high for.